Hello, welcome to the stream. I came live with no plan today, and I've never used this software before, so please forgive me if it appears I don't know what I'm doing because I don't. But yeah, in the comments, leave some comments, ask some questions because I have no agenda whatsoever except just to hang out with you guys and drink a drink. Hey, James. All right, how does this work? Okay, cool. We can just click on it to show it on the screen. All right. Hey, Rachel. Alejandro, good to see you here. That's what I was thinking. Yes, it's live. Yeah, I came live with no agenda today, so I'm just here hanging out with you, answering your questions if you have them. So leave your questions down in the comments. Well, actually, I think they're to the side, depending on what device you're on. Kim asks, "How's Laska? Laska, Laska, come here. I'll go get her. Oh, she's coming. Laska, come here, come here. Okay. So this is how she is. Yeah, she. If you. Oh no, now she's running all over. Uh, so if you saw today's video, I said in that video that she's doing well and she's been getting better pretty much every day. But then the day I recorded that video, I was out on a little walk with her, and then some other dog comes running over off leash, and then she starts jumping around. And unfortunately, I think she regressed a little bit in her healing after that happened because the next couple of days she was limping on it. All right, seeing what other questions we have out here. Uh, Paul asks, opinion on Baja California. Spent much time there? I haven't spent any time there. It's a shame. I've been in Mexico for over 4 years and haven't even been there. So yeah, it's near the top of my list on places to go. David asks, are you moving back to the States? Nope, staying right here. In fact, I'm about to sign a new lease in Querétaro. Oh, we got a super chat. Thank you, Alejandro. Did you have a chance to read my ridiculously long comment from 2 videos ago? I don't think so. I'll have to look for that later. But thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. How much did you spend on your haircut in pesos? So I went to an expensive place. It was 220 pesos, about 11 US dollars. But it wasn't just a haircut. It was like an experience too. They're like, hey, would you like a drink? And I drank a drink while they cut my hair. And then also there was a massage included and hair washing and all that stuff. And then the next day, I was in another part of the city and I saw a place where I could have gotten my hair cut for 50 pesos instead of 220. David asks, are you looking for a Mexican girlfriend? I think she'll find me. V asks, would you say it's gotten more dangerous in Mexico? No, I wouldn't say that at all. Have you ever heard gunfire in Mexico? Trying to think. I don't think so. There's been times when I thought it was gunfire, but then it just turned out to be like rockets for some celebration or people just fooling around. Yeah, I think the last time I heard gunfire, I was in Phoenix. Uh, Sandy says, "Are you dating yet?" Yes, I am. Your hair looks awesome. You look pretty handsome. No homo. Thanks. Yeah, just got a cut this week. Laska, are you limping? There she is. Sometimes cats hang out right up here, and she's always looking for them. uh, do you own any drone flying, or do you do any drone flying or photography? No, I don't. In fact, I had a drone and sold it a couple of years ago after Mexico's laws changed, like basically saying you have to have a pilot's license to fly a drone. I don't think that's ever been enforced. So I'm considering getting one again. But there's actually a lot of equipment that I want that I still need to buy. So I don't know if drone will be first, or I want a gimbal, another camera, a couple more tripods. Mark asks, is Mexico dangerous? So I think it's less of a country thing and more of a location by location thing. There's a city nearby, like an hour away, called Celaya, and that's a pretty dangerous city. In fact, I think it's considered the most dangerous in Mexico. Some other dangerous ones are near the border of the U.S. Uh, Overall, I think most of the country is very safe. But even like if I'm in a certain city, bugs flying around. If I'm in like, let's say I'm in a big city like Mexico City, there's parts of Mexico City that are safe, and there's parts of Mexico City that aren't safe. So it's that kind of thing. All right, looking for more comments. Oh, another super chat. I'll click on that one. V says, thank you for continuing to post vids. They've been very helpful. Much appreciated. And thank you for watching. I really appreciate that. And thanks a lot for the super chat. So you might have noticed in the last few videos, I'm really like trying to up the quality of them. That's going to be a big focus of mine going forward because I want you guys to get value out of them if you're watching them. All right. What other questions do we have? Where's Laska? I missed Laska. She was just on the screen a minute ago. Laska, people miss you. Come here. Hey. There's Laska. Chris asks, what cameras are you currently using to vlog? So when I bought Maddie's half of Tangerine Travels, she took a couple of the cameras with her. So I've had limited equipment since then. So I've been using a Sony RX107 mostly, and a little bit of a GoPro 7. I want to get the new GoPro, the 10. All right. Mac asks, "What's a super chat you're talking about?" So below the comment box, like if it's available in your country and like your settings on your YouTube account are set up for it, you can click a dollar sign and then like basically it's sending money to have your comment like featured and be more visible. So that's kind of what a super chat is. I probably did a terrible job explaining that. Sorry guys, I haven't been live in a long, long time. And thank you, Sylvia, for the super sticker. I appreciate that. Oh, another super chat. $20 super chat. Thank you. El Rey Leon says, "You seem to live in a nice place. How much is your rent, if you don't mind me asking?" My rent's pretty expensive. So I was thinking about doing a home tour coming up. I'm not sure yet if I want to do it. But anyway, my rent's 35,000 pesos a month. It's about $1,700. Josie asks, "Which Mexican state cooks the best food in your opinion?" Uh, oh God, it's between Yucatan or Oaxaca. I think I'm going to give them the nod to Oaxaca on this. There's just so much great food in Oaxaca. David asks, "So can you order your American snacks on Amazon without paying an arm and a leg?" Uh, no, not really. So a lot of them are available on Mercado Libre, but you do have to pay way more for them if you want them than how much you would be paying for them, like in a store in the U.S. So, like to get whatever you want, it's probably available on Mercado Libre, but the price is probably going to be anywhere between 2 and 5 times which how much you would pay in store in the U.S. After shipping and everything. Wow, that's expensive. 1,700. Yeah, it is. But it's a really, really nice place. Like, it's like an amazing house with amazing views in the best neighborhood. So it's more than I want to pay, but I think it's worth it. Now that the big red is out of the way, please show some Mexican beautiful chicks, bro. Come on, bro. The big red? I don't understand. Um, but you know, so I have a video that I want to do. It's like what it's been like dating in Mexico. However, to do it the way I want, I need some new equipment, and I I want to get that equipment on my next trip to the U.S. So then I don't have to pay a bunch of import duties and international shipping costs. Basically, it's gonna if I wait till my next U.S. trip, it's gonna save me about $500 in import duties and shipping costs. Uh, but yeah, I want that equipment to be able to do this video the way I want to, but I don't know if I'm going to wait or not to get the equipment. How are the gym memberships? So that's one of the few things that's more expensive in Mexico than in the U.S. So there's a wide variety of them. Like you can go to a pretty basic gym, probably without ceiling fans, definitely without air conditioning, probably open door with older equipment, and you might be able to get that for 300 pesos a month, $15 a month. Um, I currently go to Anytime Fitness, and their normal price is like $47 a month. But I was able to get it for about $35 a month only because I paid 14 months up front. So it's more expensive than a lot of the gyms in the U.S. and You definitely don't have those like $10 a month Planet Fitness options here, not at all. But there's also really fancy gyms. Like I just toured this gym the other day. It's so nice. Like the nicest equipment. It's absolutely enormous. They have an Olympic-sized swimming pool inside, another swimming pool outside. They have 7 clay tennis courts, 5 hard court tennis courts, a bunch of other courts, a full-size track, a couple soccer fields. Like it's just an enormous sports facility. But that one, to get an individual membership, you have to pay $450 up front, the equivalent, and then monthly dues of $250 every month. So it's super expensive. Uh, it's, a, it's of course really nice, but like the family plans are cheaper per person, or if like you are on a business plan or like a company plan, it's a lot less, but still, even then, it's expensive. Do you have a Mexican driver's license? If so, was it hard to obtain? No, I don't have a Mexican driver's license, but one of my friends in Querétaro said she could get me one for like 1,000 pesos or something. So $50, or maybe it was 2,000 pesos, maybe it was $100, but not a ton of money, and basically it was just a friend of a friend kind of thing. But if you go like the real route, the normal route, then nah, it's also pretty easy in most states, from what I hear. All right, let's see what else we have here. Uh, Combat Medic asks, "How do you find pet-friendly rentals?" First of all, thank you for the 4.99 super chat. Uh, Airbnb makes it pretty easy. You can select various things you want. So, like if I'm looking for an Airbnb, I always choose has Wi-Fi because that's important to me. And then, depending on the city, I might choose like has air conditioning if it's a hot city. But one of those things you can choose is pet friendly. You can also do this with hotels.com. But on hotels.com, be sure to click on see more and read that fine print because a lot of the hotels, there's an extra cost for bringing a pet. Sometimes it's not much at all, but other times it's like double the price of what you would pay for just the hotel. All right, what else do we have here? Aria Film says, Jordan, great to see you again on Alive. Hey, are you still into the NBA? Are you a Phoenix Suns fan or a Minnesota Timberwolves fan? The Suns are on a roll. We're Warriors fans. So I was never into the NBA until I started living in Phoenix, and then I became a Suns fan back when they had Steve Nash and Shaq. But yeah, I was never a Timberwolves fan, only a Suns fan. All right, just looking for some more comments or some more questions. There's a lot of them coming in, so it's just me trying to read all of them and everything. Uh, David asked, "Can Americans buy property in Merida?" Yes. So Merida is going to be within the restricted zone. The restricted zone in Mexico is within 100 miles of a country border, or I'm sorry, not 100 miles, 100 kilometers of a country border, or 50 kilometers of an ocean, or in this case, of the Gulf of Mexico. So it's in the restricted zone, but that doesn't mean you foreigners can't buy property. You have three options. Uh, Number one, if you want it directly in your name, the title directly in your name, you can become a naturalized citizen. That's a route not very many people choose. Uh, the next option is to buy it through a Mexican corporation. So you start a Mexican corporation. It's not too expensive, and you just have lawyers do it for you here. Uh, And then you have the corporation buy the property, and that corporation can be 100% owned by foreigners. It can be 100% owned by you. Uh, so then the corporation holds direct title to that property in Merida. The third option, and the most common option, is to buy it through a bank trust. And basically, with a bank trust, there's a myth that you have like a 99-year lease on the property, but that's not the case. You The trust owns the property, and you control the trust, and it can be renewed forever. So yeah, those are the ways to go about it. The trust does have like an annual maintenance fee that you have to pay the bank of, I think it's somewhere between $300 and $500. And if you own the property through a corporation, you do have to file your annual corporate um, taxes, papers, whatever. The attorney's going to do it all for you, whatever attorney you choose. But yeah, the most common way is that bank trust. All right, let's see what other comments we have. I think a few super chats rolled in. Let me get to those. Uh, Mac asks, have you been to those big pyramids? So the ones you're talking about are probably Teotihuacan outside of Mexico City. I've been to those. Those were pretty impressive. I've also been to some big pyramids called Koba, and those are about 45 minutes driving from Tulum. That was a really awesome. Like you go, the ruins are really expansive there. Like they go on for kilometers and kilometers. And basically at the entrance, you rent a bike, or you can have like someone bike you around and you just sit in the back. And then you can visit all these different parts of the ruins, and it's super cool. And then you get to the big pyramid. At least when I went there, you could climb up it. That was really awesome. Kind of scary, but it's super cool. I loved it. That's one of my favorite experiences that I've done. One big ancient ruins I have not seen that I should have by now is Chichen Itza, and that's fairly close to. Well, it's in the state of Yucatan, like close-ish to Merida, Valladolid area. All right, what else do we have here? Bro, we want to see some hot Mexican chicks. Go to it, bro. All right, I'll get right on that. Thank you for the super chat. Oh, when are you going to become a Mexican citizen? James asked. Hopefully sooner rather than later. I have some things in the works. V asks, please consider having mods. I take it there's a bunch of bad comments or something. I'm not seeing a vast majority of the comments because there's so many rolling in. But yeah, like I haven't done one of these streams in a long time. There are some mods on the channel, but they're ones that I've like designated as mods, I don't know, 2 or 3 years ago. So I'd be surprised if there's any in this stream. But yeah, I'll have to go through it afterwards and maybe see if I can designate some people as moderators. E-commerce, thank you for the super chat. When are you going to Baja del Sur? I hope you visit all of it. Great video. Please talk about multipolar order with the U.S. petrodollar decline too. So when am I going to Baja? Hopefully very soon. So first priority is Laska healing. Like I can't go anywhere until she's like good enough to be left with a sitter, and then after that, well then I can start planning some trips. I don't know if Baja Sur is going to be first, but it's going to be one of the first. I really want to go to Cabo. I want to go to La Paz. I want to go to Loreto. And then there's probably a bunch of other places that once I do more research that I'll want to go to as well. But those are kind of the big places. Sylvia, thank you for the super chat. How easy it is to buy a home in the area you live. Do you recommend renting or buying for snowbirds? Okay, how easy is it? Well, you can, in Querétaro, you can, as a foreigner, you can own a direct title to the property without doing anything special because it's not in the restricted zone. So, in that sense, it's easy. But closing here takes a while from what I've learned. Like to close on a house, that whole process might be 3 months. But uh, if you're going to do that, I recommend you, if you're going to buy a place, I recommend you hire a lawyer to check everything out, make sure all like the titles in order. If it's something new that's being built, that the permits are in order, that all taxes have been paid, and that you're not buying a hedo land. There's all sorts of things that a lawyer is going to know to look for that you're not. And I do recommend renting or buying for snowbirds. So that's a tougher question. I don't know if I can generalize that answer because if you're only planning on living, let's say you're planning on living in Mexico 6 months of the year, I mean, if you have the budget for it, I think it's nice to like have a home that you know what you're coming to every year, and it's your stuff, and it's your bed. There's something to be said for that. However, it's more expensive to own the home than to rent for 6 months of the year. So I don't know. I don't know. I think it probably comes down to budget more than anything. All right, trying to just catch up on the super chats. Thank you guys for sending all of them. Uh, Justin, thanks for the super chat. Hi Jordan, sounds like Alaska's doing better. Blackjack, Mad Pack. Speaking of Blackjack, Alaska. So, do any of you guys have to do this? Like, if you give your dog a treat, that you have to do what like a blackjack dealer does, and like to the cameras where they're showing that they're not stealing any chips or doing anything with the cards, and I have to prove to Alaska that I don't have any more treats. But yeah, Alaska's doing better. After I recorded the video that was released today, in that video I'd said that like she was improving every day, but later that day, like she made some quick movements and then started limping for a couple of days. But I think she's back on track to recovery. SD Rock Girl, I can't read what you said if you sent anything, but thank you very much. I appreciate that. Drew, thanks for the super chat. Medical insurance, is it available for expatriates in Mexico? If not, how much would a basic medical doctor appointment cost without insurance? Okay, so yes, it's available, but I can't say that I'm an expert in it by any means. But yeah, you can get insurance, and something else that's available and pretty common is that you people will buy this like evacuation insurance that like if you ever get sick or hurt enough in Mexico that you need to be air vaced like by helicopter or like plane or whatever, well then that service pays to take you back to whatever hospital you need to go to in your home country. So that's a very common insurance that people buy. And how much would a basic medical doctor appointment cost without insurance? So it depends what kind of appointment. So like you can go to most pharmacies. Let's say you need a prescription. You can go to most pharmacies and get a consultation for either free or maybe a couple of dollars. And basically, a lot of the pharmacies have a doctor on staff that's able to write a prescription after seeing you, just kind of making it easier for you to get a prescription. But like a generalist doctor, I mean, it kind of depends. I think it's kind of in the same realm as going to the dentist, where it could be $20 or it could be $50, just depending on how much that particular person charges. I think I need to go inside because it's getting kind of dark and there's a lot of mosquitoes. But I'll still be here, so just give me a moment. I'm gonna get inside and try to go where there's more light. Yeah, Alaska. All right, sorry about that. I'm back. All right, what's next here? Let me just try to get caught up on the super chats here. V, I second that. Thank you for the super chat. I think that's about adding some mods. All right, now I think I'm all caught up on the super chats, and no, I'm not. Okay. Maria Films, Jordan, what are your thoughts on Ecuador? Also, just introducing new visa laws similar to Mexico. We found out through Amelia and JP on YouTube, Mexico and Ecuador are making it harder for new expats. So yeah, I made a video a little while back talking about other countries that people could get legal residency in if they can no longer qualify for residency in Mexico. And one of the countries I mentioned was Ecuador. Well, literally within 48 hours of making that video, they increased the requirements. However, the requirements are still significantly lower than Mexico's. So they did require for like the visa that most people would get, they did require $800 a month of income, and now it's up to $1,275. So, I mean, even still after raising it, it's less than half of what Mexico is. So it's still significantly easier. And there's also other relatively easy residencies to get. For example, if you're of working age and you have a college degree, that the college degree is the only requirement. So there's other pretty easy ways like that. As for my thoughts on Ecuador, I mean, it's a place I want to visit, but I haven't yet, so I can't say a lot more than that. All right, let me see if there's any other super chats I missed. What is the best way to transfer a US dollar to Mexico peso when traveling on vacation? So on vacation, if you're on vacation, the first thing I would do is try to use a credit card with no foreign transaction fee. And almost every single card that's branded as a travel card has no foreign transaction fees. I just got a Capital One card, and I don't think any of their cards have foreign transaction fees. So if it's like a airline card, a hotel card, a lot of American Express cards don't have them. But that's the first thing I would do. But if you're just on vacation, like I have a Charles Schwab checking account where I can go to an ATM, I can withdraw money for free, and then they refund all those fees, and there's no foreign transaction fees. So that's a really good option. But I can't say like I can't really recommend like going to open up a new checking account just so you can withdraw pesos without incurring any fees. But yeah, use a credit card when you can. Maybe bring some dollars with you, and then exchange the little bit that you need. Hopefully you don't need to exchange a lot because you pay a fee when you exchange into pesos, and then whatever you don't use, you pay a fee to exchange it back into dollars. So that's not ideal. And you can also use your debit card and go to an ATM, but don't use one on the street. Don't use like a random ATM on the street. Use one that's like inside of a grocery store, inside of an airport, inside of a bank. Those ATMs are a lot more secure. The ones on the street, there's a lot more reports of people having problems with them, and like skimmers, and like just less security too, no cameras around, things like that. Now, Ray Leon says, what's the best area to live in Puerto Vallarta? Oh, you know, depends on what you're looking for. The most walkable area is probably Zona Romantica or Zona Centro. However, to live there, you have to pay up. Like those places are pricey. So like in Zona Romantica, you might be paying $300,000 or $400,000 for a small apartment or a small condo there. So like it's really expensive. Um, but like as you get further out, things get a lot cheaper, but it becomes less walkable. So it's kind of a trade-off. Like, do you want to pay more and have more walkable, or pay less and less walkable? Botiana asked, Jordan, when will you go to watch a live football match? We would love to see a reaction to the atmosphere to Mexico's favorite sport. Yeah, that'd be really cool. I'm glad I wasn't at the one in Querétaro where there was a riot recently. But I mean, I don't know when I'm going to go, but it's something I would definitely do. And by the way, I think there was a lot of misinformation about that like big old fight that broke out there, because there were news outlets reporting that a bunch of people have died, or died during it, but I don't think that's the case. I think they were just hospitalized, which is still serious, but um, way better than dying, of course. Got a lot of comments on the channel after that happened. Like, are you leaving Querétaro now? Nope. Amstergal says, please leave this video up for replay. So much good info. Yeah, I guess I hadn't given it any thought whether I was going to leave it up or not. I'll consider it, at least for like a day or something. But I don't like to leave lives up on the channel forever, because I like the videos on the channel to be polished, to be good, that like will make people want to subscribe. And the lives just don't do it. Uh, John asks, well, John Doe, that's probably not your name, but John asks, if you had 200,000 to invest in real estate, would you be a regular landlord, do Airbnb? I'm unsure how risky being a Mexican landlord would be. Probably depends on the location. If it's a place where I think there's going to be a lot of demand for vacation rentals, I'd probably lean towards Airbnb or like other websites. Actually, preferably off of Airbnb, but like geared towards vacation rentals. So then you aren't hit with Airbnb's cut. But yeah, I think I'd probably lean towards the vacation rental rather than long term. A Burro says, Guerrero Negro in Baja California Sur is famous for whale watching during late January, all of February, March. Worth planning a trip during that time. Thank you for the recommendation, and thanks for the super chat. Vato Chingon says, Junior Flores has a question, sir. Sorry, I didn't see it. There's so many comments. I'm literally just scrolling as fast as I can just to like try to get the super chats. And then once I get caught up, I'll start answering those that aren't super chats. Reggie says, like your video today, keep traveling. Yeah, I want to get to, thank you. I'm glad you liked it. And I want to get to traveling as soon as I can. First order of business is for Lafka to heal. She has at least 2 more weeks of healing before I can even think about planning a trip. And then after that, I'll see how things are going with her. Mexico Taku says, do you recommend people using cars when living in Mexico, or public transportation a realistic alternative? So I really think it depends. Depends on the city. So there's some cities where I wouldn't even want a car, and then other cities where I kind of feel like I really want a car. So in Querétaro, where I'm at now, it's one of those where I feel like my life would be improved if I had a car. However, I can get by without a car. Like, I'm doing just fine without one, and I can take Ubers to go to places when I like need to go to the mall or go to the grocery store. Although I don't like going to the grocery store in an Uber and going back in an Uber because it's kind of a pain. Like I don't like just like putting all the groceries into the Uber car while he waits there, you know. But I can do it, and it's not that big of a deal. And the driver usually helps. And also, I utilize delivery services a lot for both groceries and food, like eating out. Or, well, it's not eating out if you're getting it delivered, but you know. So yeah, I think it depends on the city to answer your question. Maria Films, thanks for the super chat. Jordan, thank you for having this live stream. We truly hope that you have another one very soon. You're awesome at this. Buenas noches. Well, thank you. I wouldn't rate myself as awesome yet, more like terrible, but I'm glad you're enjoying it. Okay. Raul, thank you for the super chat. I don't think you left any text though. If you did, I'm sorry, I can't read it. R. Toronto, thank you for the super chat. No question, just thank you, Jordan, for your videos. I'm a few years away from retirement and you provide such valuable information. It's like you are doing my research for me. All the best, Robin. Robin, I'm glad you're finding value out of it. And like, that's what I'm trying to do in a lot of the videos. Actually, every video. I do not post a video if I can't answer the question, how is this going to help people? What value are they going to get out of this? Like even if I'm just doing a vlog in a city, like I'm trying to give you restaurant recommendations, drink recommendations, what not to do, and then like providing you the prices of things so you know what kind of cost to expect, things like that. They're always going through my head. Like how's it going to help you out? So I'm glad that it does. Okay, I'm caught up on super chat, so now I can answer some non-super chat questions. Okay, what do we have here? Tangerine Travels live chat is lit. Yeah, there's a lot of questions in here. Oh my gosh. James asks, would you live in rural Mexico? Not permanently, because I've tried living in small towns, and while I like it for a period of time, it's just not something that I would that I would be happy doing long term. Like I know not everyone's like me, and there's going to be plenty of people who would be happy in rural Mexico, or even like small town Mexico. But I love doing day trips and weekend trips, or even week-long trips to small towns and things like that, things off the beaten path. But I can't say that I would live there. E-commerce, thank you for the super chat. Maybe put these on a second channel if you think that's good. The content is great. I wish I tuned in earlier. I'm wondering what inflation has been like on meat, used cars, rent, gas, and restaurants. So I assume you're talking about inflation in Mexico, because that's really like what I would be best at answering. So meat, it's gone up a lot. And I don't buy a lot of meat in the grocery store, but I do like going to a steakhouse here called Sonora Grill. And in the past 6 months, they've raised their prices 3 times, and their prices have at least on their cuts of meat. The prices on those have probably gone up 30% in 6 months. It's significant. Used cars, I'm shopping for used cars, so I don't know what they were before because I wasn't shopping before, but I do know what the prices are like now, and I'm honestly shocked at how not high they are. Like, for example, if I go looking for a particular car here and then price that same car in the US, if that car is 20,000 in Mexico, that same car is probably selling for 30,000 in the US. So the used car prices have not done what they've done in the US, to my knowledge. They're certainly a whole lot cheaper here. Um, as for rent, I don't know what rents have done in general. I can tell you that my landlord is not raising my rent and is offering me another lease at the same price. Gas, gas has gone up a little bit, but not nearly as much as in the U.S. So pretty much the whole time that I've been in Mexico over the last 4 years, gas here has been about $4 a gallon. It's mostly run by Pemex, the state-owned oil company, and they use it as a significant portion of their tax revenue. So, like, they've always jacked up the prices on gas. However, the good thing that comes with this is that when the world market price of oil goes way up, well, then Mexico prices on gas don't change a whole lot like they do in a lot of other countries. So, yeah, gas has gone up, but it's gone up like 10%. Like it's gone from 20 pesos to 22 pesos, at least here in Querétaro. And as for restaurants, so most restaurants, they'll do price increases at the beginning of every year. And most of the ones I go to, the steakhouse was an exception. That's those prices have gone up like crazy on those meats. But most restaurants I go to have gone up not a whole lot, probably 5%. Very few dishes have gone up over 10%, at least here. Okay. And I think I missed one super chat while I was answering that. Wes Moody says, thanks for doing a live stream. This is great. Also, Junior Flores really wants to know if crypto is big in Mexico and your thoughts on crypto. So, is it big in Mexico? Not really, not that I've seen. Maybe there's some pockets, like I went to Acapulco, and I remember going to a restaurant where there was a sign that was Bitcoin preferred here. But other than Acapulco, I haven't really seen much anywhere else. And for my thoughts on crypto, it's something I was in pretty early. Like I was into it in 20. First heard about Bitcoin. I first heard about Bitcoin. I think it was at 2013. But anyway, I remember the price at the time, and it was $100 a coin. And I I'm like, I really liked the concept. I thought it had a lot of potential, and I was like, I want to buy some. Me and my ex fiance at the time were saving up for our wedding. This was before Maddie, and we had $4,000 saved for our wedding. And I told her that I want to put it into Bitcoin. Uh, but then Bitcoin went from $100 to $200 very quickly. And then I thought it was at $200. I thought, no, I can't buy it now. It's too high. But the big exchange at the time was Mount Gox. And so I didn't end up buying Bitcoin because it had doubled in price. And I just really don't like buying things after it's gone way up in price. And if I would have bought it, it would have been on Mount Gox. And Mount Gox, like there was, I forget exactly what happened with that, but there was a big fiasco that everyone lost their Bitcoin. Just a matter, I think it was a matter of months after that. So yeah, I could have bought it on Mount Gox, but if I didn't immediately take it off the exchange and put it in my own private wallet, I would have lost that. And I would have thought I lost it forever. But recently, there was like a lawsuit against the guy who had founded Mount Gox or whatever. And like people who had thought they lost their Bitcoin ended up like getting a settlement in a lawsuit. And like many people got millions of dollars. So if I had bought Bitcoin and lost it in Mount Gox, I'd probably be a decamillionaire now because of that lawsuit many years later. But yeah, that's my Bitcoin story. True asked, do you have any Mexico expat tips or advice available on a paid hourly basis via teleconference? In other words, paid consulting over a Zoom meeting, for example. I've had a lot of requests for this, Drew, but I just simply don't have the time. Like I'm doing everything because I'm putting so much effort into each video these days. I I hardly have any free time. I really I think I have to hire more people. I have to streamline the process to be able to free up some of my time because what I'm currently doing is just not sustainable in the long run. So I either need to do that or put up fewer videos, but not, I'm sorry, I just don't have the time to offer anything like that. Trini asks, hey Jordan, I really hope you can someday explore Central America, particularly Costa Rica, Belize, Guatemala. Will you be traveling this year? Will I be traveling this year? Absolutely. Uh, to where? Probably within Mexico. Maybe a couple Las Vegas trips because I like it there, and those videos are a total hit on the channel. But I'm guessing that I won't make it to Central America this year, but I definitely want to go eventually. Okay, and now I'm all caught up on super chats. Do you know what the average monthly rent is in resort towns? It really depends on what you're talking about, which place, and also the location within the town. That's a really hard question to answer. So I can tell you that I was living in Puerto Morelos until around the end of 2020. And my rent there was $500 a month. And that included internet, it included water, and it included the maintenance fee, or well, basically what the HOA fee, but here they call it a maintenance fee. And so, yeah, I was paying $500 a month for that. He raised the price after we left, and I think he's charging somewhere around $600 a month now. That was for a 2-bedroom, 1 bath, and this is between Cancun and Playa del Carmen. It's not exactly a resort town, however, because a lot of the tourism has kind of just skipped Puerto Morelos, has either gone to Cancun or Playa del Carmen, but I think it's becoming more of that, and it will become more touristy over time. And as that happens, those rent prices will go up. But also another big note there is there's like the Colonia side of town where most of the residents live, and then there's the beach side of town, and it's a couple kilometers from one side of the town to the other. And we were living in the Colonia side, the cheaper side where most people live, and to live on the beach side, rent probably would have been triple what we were paying. Like I've taken a couple trips to Puerto Vallarta recently, and rents there they've gotten a lot more expensive recently, especially in the most desirable parts of the town. So friends there are paying $750 US for a 1 bed, 1 bath, something along those lines. I hope that gives you some sort of answer, but honestly, it really varies by city and by location within the city. And of course, if you want oceanfront, if you want that view or something, well, then you're going to pay up for that. All right, what else do we have here? Oh, here we got a good answer. Dave says, I live in Playa del Carmen and it ranges from $500 to $1,000 US outside of Centro, and $1,000 to $2,500 US in Centro or by the beach. Yeah, so the better the location you want, the more you're going to pay for it, which is, of course, always the case. DV says, I have a great place in Puerto Vallarta for 400 Canadian. Tell you what, don't give that up. because the current rental market, there's a lot of people searching, and the cheaper ones are, from what I hear, are not easy to find. Thank you, Pack Attack, for the super chat. And Nagol Ripas, thank you for the super chat. Was Maddie crazy off camera? I would rather not answer questions about her. I'm sorry. All right. Mars Fool's Gold says, Jordan, are you ever going to get to Puerto Escondido? I would sure hope so, because I came to Mexico. That was my destination. That was our destination when we came to Mexico. And then we got distracted. We started posting YouTube videos. And then we got recommendations in the comments saying, hey, while you're in this area, you should go here. And then, like, our original plan was to go down the Pacific coast the whole way. And then that got messed up when we were in San Blas, Nayarit, and we got some recommendations to go to Guadalajara. So we went in inland to Guadalajara, and then really liked it. And then we went to Guanajuato, really liked it, and then settled in Guadalajara for a while. So we never made it down all the way down the Pacific coast like we had planned. Never made it to Puerto Escondido, and it's a place I still need to get to. Clicked on the wrong comment. Steve asked, do they have any legit casinos in Mexico? So there's a lot of casinos. I've never been to one because they're not like Vegas casinos. So you're not going to find any of like the glitz and glamour from Vegas, but there's casinos with poker rooms and slot machines and stuff like that. I love Vegas, but I'm actually not a big gambler, so I've never been to them. All right, what other questions we got here? Oh, I tried clicking on one, but then the comments moved on me. Okay, Mexican Spec says casinos are boring here. They're all machines. So yeah, there you go. And something else I've heard is they're not like what looks like a slot machine aren't like normal slot machines. They're like some type of games you play on there. So I can't really speak to that. I've just heard there's something different about them. Vacation Adventurer, great haircut, looks great. Thank you. Eisen Julian says, do you watch anime? No, I've never watched anime. I went out with a girl here who was really into anime, and she wanted me to watch it, but I never did. I think I watched one episode when I was with her. My life house, are vehicle choices different in Mexico? So there's a lot that are the same, and there's a lot that are different. So, for example, Toyotas and Volkswagens are very common cars here. However, a lot of the models of the cars are different than the models you'll find in the US. I think a reason for that, or a big reason for it, is there's different safety standards here. Like in the US, they basically have to make their cars bigger and heavier to meet crash test ratings and things like that, which also makes them less fuel efficient. So here you'll find a lot more smaller cars. They're more fuel efficient. They wouldn't meet a lot of the rigorous safety standards or like crash test standards that you have in the US, but they're smaller, they're cheaper, they're more fuel efficient. So things like that are pretty common in a lot of the brands here. And then there's things like, so Mercedes are really popular here. BMW is also really popular. What else is popular? Audi, really popular. Porsche, Porsche, how do you pronounce it? Porsche, pretty popular. Lexus, you'll never see Lexus here. Even though Toyotas are super common, Lexus just don't exist. Like I've seen more Lamborghinis in Mexico than I've seen Lexus in Mexico. So that's kind of weird. And I've been on the lookout for them because a Lexus is the type of car I had in the US. I had an IS 250, and then I'm just shocked at how you never see them. In almost 4.5 years living here, I've seen one Lexus, and it wasn't the kind I had. All right. What else do we have here? Ryan, thank you for the super chat. Thanks for the honest tours of Mexico so much. Congrats on the new girlfriend. I don't have a new girlfriend. Just had a bad experience in Mexico as first timers. Not one, but many, and have been watching you to cope. How to travel there again. Oh, that sucks that you had a bad experience. So now, without knowing what your bad experience was, I don't know what kind of advice I can give you. But let's say a lot of people's bad experiences uh, are like in the realm of scams, like dealing with scams, dealing with like dishonest people, things like that. And I can tell you, you'll find a lot more of that in the really popular vacation destinations. So if that was your experience, like simply just going to a less popular place will probably improve your experience a lot. For example, like let's say you went to Cancun and had a bad experience. Just go down the road to Puerto Morelos. It's like way less touristy, but still a really nice little town. That's why we lived there for a while. And there's there's far fewer scams and dishonest stuff going on there. So that's one recommendation I could give. Now, Pescador asks, how's Alaska doing after the surgery? So, in the video I released today, I gave a quick little update on her, and I said that she's doing better and improving like pretty much every day. But I think it was the day after I recorded that video that I was out on a walk with her. I'm trying to take her on a nice little easy stroll each day where we go pretty slowly, but it allows her to get out of the house, gets her smells in, gets some of her energy out. And then the dog came running over off leash, and then Laska started pulling and jumping. And I think she hurt herself because for the next couple of days she was limping. But now I think she's back on the road to recovery. Will you do any collabs with creators from the US going to Mexico? That might be a good idea. Yeah, definitely. In fact, I was just emailing with one the other day, a couple days ago. Gary asked, tell us about your new girlfriend. I don't have a new girlfriend. I've been dating, but no new girlfriend yet. Who's your favorite finance vlogger? I don't have any. Uh, I don't watch that stuff. So when it comes to finance stuff, I read lots of books, uh, read lots of annual reports, accounting books, stuff that people would like make their head explode. But I find it interesting. So yeah. But on YouTube, yeah, that's not really something I watch. All right. Have you thought about modeling down there? Oh yeah, every day, thinking about modeling. Have you ever done any other foreign travel? Would you go to Southeast Asia? So, uh, before having a YouTube channel, I went to Amsterdam, I went to Dominican Republic, and Mexico a couple times. Canada, does that count as foreign travel? But since having a YouTube channel, Peru twice, Spain, is that it? Just Peru and Spain? Yeah, I think that's it. Peru, Spain, Mexico. I guess I went to Canada once after having the YouTube channel, but again, growing up in Minnesota, I don't feel like Canada counts as foreign travel. And would I go to Southeast Asia? Yeah, definitely. But I haven't been. Amber Lopez says, "You like Mexican girls?" Yeah, they're great. All right, what else do we have here? Pacific or Caribbean side? What's your favorite? So, Caribbean side, you have the blue ass water. So that's cool. However, you also have the seaweed, the sargassum, that, and that's generally the worst in the summer. So, for that one reason, the seaweed, I choose the Pacific side because the Pacific side is beautiful and you have amazing sunsets over the water. Really, the only place you can get amazing sunsets over the water on the Caribbean side is the west coast of Cozumel, which is awesome too. And you don't have any seaweed on the west coast of Cozumel. But yeah, I got to go with Pacific if no other reason but that seaweed. How's the sargassum there right now? Seen pictures of it. It looks awful, horrible. Like, yeah, just not having to deal with that. That's why I would pick Pacific side almost any day. So I said earlier that I didn't want to answer questions about Maddie, but I don't feel like this one is about her. Um, why why did she sell the Prius? So, number of reasons. Number one, she was going to be getting permanent residency soon, and after you have permanent residency, you can't have a foreign plated car in Mexico. Number two, um, like if you want a car in Mexico, I think it's better to have a Mexican plated car because a US plated car, you would need to have both Mexican insurance and US insurance. So, like, we were paying about $70 a month for worthless US insurance that we were never using. So, that came to something like, I forget, $600 a year, something like that. Uh, and then $500 a year for Mexican insurance. And another reason was that another year of Mexican insurance was coming due very soon. So when the car was sold, that was like a couple weeks before we would have had to pay for another year of Mexican insurance, costing another $500. But perhaps the biggest reason of all, well, besides the not being allowed to have a foreign plated car with permanent residency, is that used car prices just went insane in the US. And like she was able to get way more for it than she'd ever imagined. So that was a big reason as well. And like, if you want to sell a car anyway and prices are really high, why not, right? All right, what do I have here? Looking for some more questions. Sorry, my nose itches. I'm not picking my nose. Okay. Helen, why only one blog a week? I could watch much more of your content, or I could watch much more. Your content is great. Because there's so much work that goes into the videos. And right now I have one video editor, and I'm basically, my one video a week is basically taking up all of his time. Like, this guy's working 50, 60 hours, maybe even more every week to get these videos ready. And if I wanted to release more, I would have to get another video editor because he's too busy to do any more videos for me. I was playing with the concept of doing fewer and just making them all awesome. But I would really like to keep with the 1 week. All right. That one guy. Do you drink every day? No, not even close. I'm having a whiskey and what they call agua mineral here, but it's what we would call like a club soda in the U.S. And I enjoy a drink like this maybe once a week, twice a week if I'm drinking a lot. Uh, but I I rarely have several drinks in a day. Usually it's just like one or two of these if I drink it all. V says maybe get a second editor. Yeah, that's an option. But so it's hard to find one who's really good at what they do, is in the same time zone as me, and is bilingual in both Spanish and English. And I need all three of those. So yeah, it's just hard to find. And then like the one I use is awesome, but even when he's awesome and he's really great and really knows what he's doing, I still have to do. There's still a lot of communication between him and I to like kind of learn the style that I want, and like he knows how to edit videos and I know what does well on YouTube. So it's like kind of, and those are two different things. So like so he kind of has to learn from me and I have to learn from him what the limitations are and things like that. So there there's a lot of communication to get us both on the same page. E-commerce, thanks for the super chat. What's the clown world situation like there? What's much U.S. subversion going on? I take it no one says Latinx there, and there's only dose genders there. Okay, I literally have no idea what most of this comment means. As like, I think the only part of this I understand is there's only two genders here, and uh, like out in public on businesses and things like that, yeah, you're either male or female, but like I've seen like trans meetups and things like that. And also when I'm like on Tinder, I come across quite a few trans women. So I hope that answered part of your question, but I literally have no idea what most of that means. Super Machinist, thank you for the super chat. Happy Saturday. Thank you. Happy Sábado de Gloria. Actually, that must be what the Saturday before Easter Sunday is called. If so, I didn't know that. Thank you. Thank you for teaching me something, and thank you for the super chat. Do you have a roommate, or do you have roommates? Yep, she has cute face. She's blonde, blue eyes, four paws, fluffy tail. She's a dog. Are you straight or are you bi? Straight. Have you been to a lap swimming pool in Querétaro? Yes, but I haven't actually used it. So the gym I was going to before, called 7 Days Gold, they had a lap swimming pool there. There's another gym I toured very recently, but it's super expensive, and they have a huge Olympic-sized swimming pool. They actually have two swimming pools. One's Olympic-sized, one's not. And both are lap swimming pools. And yeah, so I want a membership at that fancy place, but it's just so expensive. I'm trying to figure out a way to get a cheaper membership, and I think I have a hookup that like gets me on part of like a company membership, which makes it way cheaper. Carlos asks, "Can Alaska come say hi?" So she's upstairs. If she comes downstairs, I'll have her say hi. Just looking at these comments, oh my gosh, being on YouTube live, you have to have thick skin and just filter out the weirdness. Lots of respect to you, man. Well, honestly, like I'll be reading the comments, and as soon as I like see that some comment is weird, I just stop reading and I go to the next one. And that's kind of how I try to live my life on YouTube. And then sometimes I'll read a comment and then I'll be like, I'm going to tell them. And then I start typing out a comment and I'm like, what are you doing? No, you idiot. Just move on. Don't engage. I love this question. Have you ever been in a Mexican bar fight? Have I been in a Mexican bar fight? So since moving to Mexico, no. I'm trying to think if there was anything when I went to Mexico on spring break. I don't think so. No, no Mexican bar fights. Thank goodness. 57 Chevy, thank you for the super chat. Hey Jordan, do you read fiction, nonfiction, or both? What genres and any authors that you recommend? Um, yeah, both. Mostly nonfiction, and so in the nonfiction category, like, although I don't like the title, lots within what is considered the self-help genre, but I hate that title, self-help. But I I credit a lot of like being where I'm at today with all the reading I do. Like if it wasn't for Audible and my audiobooks, by the way, I don't normally read. I'm normally like listening to the book because I digest information a lot better listening than I do reading. But yeah, I credit a lot of where I'm at today with all the hundreds of books I've read. But yeah, mostly nonfiction, sometimes dabble in the fiction area. And for authors, uh, I don't know. One book I recently read, I'll just open up my Audible app to find it here. This was also in the self-help genre, but if you're like thinking about starting a business or anything like that, or getting out of the rat race, this is by MJ DeMarco. It's called Unscripted: The Great Rat Race Escape. Like I thought that was a really good one. Okay, what else do we have here? Mr. Dr. Roxo. How old are you, Jordan? How old is Laska? I am 34 and Laska is 12. How's the dating life in Mexico? Awesome. Um, Let me see if I can get caught up here. Have you learned to cook any traditional food like tamales? Um, I've learned some traditional foods like huevos al gusto and nachos. No, no, I really haven't. Ah, my nose itches so much. I really don't want to do that on camera. Uh, have you ever been robbed? So about 6 months before coming to Mexico, I was in the process of selling all my stuff before like moving because I could take very little with us. And I was selling an engagement ring from a previous relationship. And these two guys met up with me to buy that ring off of me, and they tried to steal it from me. So, it's kind of like it's the first time I've ever been in a situation like that. And I would never have known how I was going to react, like whether it would be like fight or flight. And the way I reacted, it was fight, then flight. And like I'd been training Krav Maga, and I I was ready to like just do whatever I needed to do to take both of them out. And I was able to get the ring back from them. And then I ran away and like found a cop down the road. And yeah, they took my statement, drove me to my car, and that was the only time someone has ever tried to rob me. Lady Freddie asks, have you read Jordan Peterson's 12 Rules for Life? Not yet, but as soon as Audible runs a 2-for-1 credit sale where that book is part of the sale, I'm getting it. That's how I normally use my Audible credits. So I have the subscription where I get 24 credits a year. Each credit is good for one book. But a lot of times they run a promo where you get two books for one credit. So you can basically get double the value out of your Audible membership. So I generally always wait for those sales and then just stock up on books that I want during those. But yeah, that's one that's on my watch list. Charles asked, can you hire bodyguards in Mexico? Yeah, absolutely. I I don't personally know anyone who does, but yeah, you can. But I mean, like even some of my friends who are very well off, they don't have bodyguards. That attempted robbery happened in Phoenix. Like if you're familiar with the area, Bethany Home and I-17 area. All right, what else do we have? Thanks for taking the time to talk to your viewers. I mean, guys, thanks for joining. Almost 1,000 people on here. That's crazy. And I appreciate the super chat. Jenny says, hello from Vallarta. Hello. Thanks for joining. All right. Well, what other questions do we have? Do you have groupies? I'm not. I'm not a rock star. I don't have a tour bus. Do you need a tour bus to have groupies? I don't know how to answer that. Jorge asks, have you been to Hotel Escaret with the all fun exclusive, not inclusive concept? No, I haven't, but I want to. Like that's supposed to be an awesome hotel, and I hear rave reviews about it, so it's something I want to try. Is your mom as sick of winter in Winnipeg as we are? Really over the blizzards. I talked to her the other day. I was like, I hear you have a big storm coming your way because I'm in a fantasy hockey league and I have some guys on the Winnipeg Jets team, and that game got postponed. A recent game got postponed. And I looked up the reason for postponement, and turns out a big blizzard is coming. So I called her. It's like, so I hear you have a big storm. And she's like, oh, yeah, it's not bad so far. We've only got 8 inches of snow. Ooh. And then I tried telling her about the weather here. I was like, oh, yeah, here it's partly cloudy, 80 degrees. She's like, I don't want to talk about your weather. It was funny. What spots you like for nightlife in Centro? The first one that comes to mind is Mestizo. It's like spelled Mestizo. I put it in one video, I think. I say I think because I don't think I put it in 2 videos, but I know I put it in one. And yeah, awesome little bar. Not very well known. Definitely check it out. I went to this other cool place. I'm gonna see if I can remember the name. No. Oh, Sky Garden. That was fun. That was a fun atmosphere. I went there on a date. That was pretty cool. How much does rent cost in Querétaro? Brendan asks. It can be very little, or it can be a whole heck of a lot. You could have it anywhere as low as a couple $100 to thousands. I've toured a place that was renting for as much as $5,000. Do you go salsa dancing or clubbing? Clubbing? No, I don't. Like, nightclubs are my nightmare. I just, I, I don't like. Actually, you know what? I take that back. I went to one club here in Querétaro, and that was actually pretty fun. But like, generally speaking, I hate nightclubs because I don't really like being in a situation where I have to yell at the person next to me and they have to yell at me, and then I can barely hear them. And like, God forbid, if I'm trying to talk to the person across the table, not going to happen. And then crowded with a whole bunch of people. But I did go to one nightclub in Querétaro. It was called like Bunka. And there we had a table, and that made it a whole lot more enjoyable because we had our own space and it wasn't like shoulder to shoulder the whole time. Alaska definitely has groupies, for sure. Josie asks, pozole or menudo? Pozole. Love pozole. But, I actually, I can't answer that question fairly because I don't remember trying menudo. Um, I think I've had it described to me before and it didn't sound good. So, but yeah, I like pozole. Okay, let's see if I can get caught up in comments here. Do you follow Mexican soccer? If so, which team? No, I don't really follow it. Emily says, great live, Jordan. Thanks for hanging out. Thank you. Gosh, it's already been an hour and a half. Wow. Oh, and thank you for the super chat, Emily, if I didn't say that. Ronald, thank you for the super sticker. Appreciate that. Jim asks, have you visited Durango? That's one of the few states I have not been to yet. I don't think I've even driven through it. Cesar asks, now that you are a YouTube celebrity, have you signed any autographs? No, I've never been asked for an autograph. Pictures, yes. Autographs, no. Oh my God, we went to Coco Bongo once in Cancun. Great show, but horrible experience. Packed like sardines. Yeah, I've heard good things about Coco Bongo. Um, I haven't heard that it's been a horrible experience, but I've heard the show is good. Haven't been though. Thank you for the super chat. I find Mexican women more approachable than American women. Do you notice that contrast? Help us out. Oh. So more approachable. Probably. Less of a pain in the ass. I'm sorry, I didn't say that. I'm speaking generally. But yeah, Mexican women are nice. I like them. '57 Chevy says, thoughts regarding Mexican society and egalitarianism compared to the US? Are folks generally locked into a class, or can they migrate up the class system? Do elites treat the rest of society respectfully? So, Mexico actually is pretty classist. Like, racist, no, but classist, yes. And like, people of an upper class, in my experience, will generally like hang out and associate themselves with other people who are high earners, business owners, things like that. However, can people migrate up the class system? Yes, absolutely. It's not like you're born into something and you're stuck there for your whole life. There's a lot of entrepreneurship, and there's a lot of drive and motivation that I've seen in people like trying to improve their life and like move up in the class system, if you want to call it that. Say hi to Matthew. Hey, good to see you here. Are churros much better there? you can get some fresh churros. I have a I don't know if this is a funny churro story, but I have a little churro story. I bought some churros from a guy in Oaxaca, and they were delicious, by the way. And I asked him how much they were in Spanish. He told me 10 pesos. And then shortly thereafter, I'm by this churro guy, and someone comes up to him. This guy asks how much they are in English, and they were 20 pesos for him. The price doubled for English. E-commerce, thank you for the super chat. Is there free speech in Mexico? Also, do Mexicans know about U.S. corruption regarding Jeffrey Epstein's quote suicide, U.S. government involvement in 9/11, Julian Assange? So, is there free speech in Mexico? Yes. However, if you're not a Mexican citizen, you cannot legally get involved in political stuff. So, as a foreigner, you don't have as much free speech as Mexicans have. And as for the rest of those questions, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. Jake says, "Hey Jordan, have you reacted? Have you reached out to Maddie to see how she's doing after the robbery?" No, we're not talking. Not unless it's required. And regarding the moving up the class system, I think this is what this comment is in regards to. You can get to the top 9%, but never to the top 2%. And the top 2% only hang out with each other. Yeah, I mean, I can see that. A lot of my friends here definitely fall into that top 2% category, and all their friends are like, they all own big businesses. Esmeralda asks, "Are you going to any resorts soon?" So said this a few times on the stream, but I know it's been a long stream, and I'm sure a lot of you haven't been on here the whole time. Before I can travel at all, Alaska has to get better, and that's going to be at least 2 more weeks. And then once I do travel, I don't know whether that. I think resorts will be a little further down the line because I'm trying to save up some credit card points to get to redeem a good value trip at a resort or something like that. So that's down the line. Probably before then, it will be traveling, but not resort staying and cheaper stuff. Hey, Hunter, watching from Minnesota. Welcome to the live stream. That's where I grew up, if you didn't know. Have you ever had a 9-to-5 job? No. I've had lots of jobs where I had to get up at the crack of dawn or before dawn. Like, I had a job where I worked 3 a.m. to noon. It was, if you're talking 9 to 5, yeah, I went there 5 days a week, and it was 9 hours at a time or something like that. But it was not that nice of hours. I've never had a desk job or anything like that. Misty asks, "Where's the safest city to live in Mexico?" A lot of people say Merida. I think it's Querétaro. All right. I'm gonna admit it, Lauren. You caught my attention with a look at my question. Would you prefer to live in Playa del Carmen or Merida? I know, totally different areas, We are looking to buy property in the Playa del Carmen area. If I had to choose one year round, it would probably be Playa del Carmen because although Playa del Carmen is really hot and really humid in the summer, Merida is even worse. And at least in Playa del Carmen, you have the beach there. So you get the ocean breeze. But then again, like in the video I just released today, I talk about Merida and I'm showing examples of some of the homes you can buy there. And my gosh, you can get so much home for your money. And you don't even have to like spend all that much on a home to get like a beautiful home with a pool. So now that I think about it, maybe that sways my decision to Merida. And I love the food scene in both places. The food scene's awesome. Uh, I don't know. You're going to get a lot more house for your money in Merida, but can you deal with the really hot and humid summers? But hey, you have a pool. Like almost every house has a pool there, so there's that. 34. And Jordan, have you met many subscribers in person? Yeah, yeah, a lot. Probably a couple thousand at this point. Okay, trying to get caught up in comments here. And oh, this is live? Oh shit, unexpected. Yep, this is live. Sheila says Merida from end of April, or no, from April to the end of September. No. Yeah, I mean, those months are really hot. Oh, I think I might have missed a super chat. Where is it? Kenji says, I used to do $20 tip videos in Vegas. What kind of other things? What kind of other things can you get for a tip in Vegas? Car upgrades, better seats at a show? Huh. That's a good question. You know, like first thing that comes to mind, drink service on the casino floor. If if you throw them like $5 the first time they bring you a drink, like you're going to get awesome service and they're going to be bringing you drinks like crazy. That's not a requirement. Like even just tipping them a couple of bucks will usually do that. But yeah. Another thing, housekeeping. Like if you tip housekeeping well, like some hotels, I love their shampoo and conditioner that they provide. So like I've done it before where I leave a $5 bill for housekeeping and I'm like, more extra shampoo and conditioner, please. And I've had it where they leave me like 20 or 30 bottles of shampoo and conditioner, which is pretty cool. That's all that comes to mind at the moment. John asked, morning or night person? Used to be like back in college, more of a night person. Now I'm like kind of in between. Like if I wake up naturally and not having Laska wake me up, I'll wake up at around 7 or 8 a.m. and then I'll go to bed at 10 or 11 p.m. Is it a bad idea to buy a house that needs renovation in Mexico? Um, I don't think so, as long as you know what you know what you're doing or you have someone you trust who knows what they're doing. So as long as one of those cases, or as long as one of those things is the case, I would say no, no problem with that. But if you don't know what you're doing and you don't have someone you trust to do the work for you, well, then you could find yourself in a whole lot of headaches to trying to do a remodel. John asks, have you been to Mall of America? Yeah, quite a few times. I'm trying to find some more questions here to answer and also catch up on comments. How much is a good massage there? I had a great massage last week. It was so amazing. And she charges 550 pesos, and she actually does it for the full hour. It's not one of those things where she starts early and ends late and you end up only getting 40 minutes. Like, it was the full hour. So 550 pesos, you're looking at about 27 US dollars. Or if I wanted 90 minutes, I think you add like another $10 to that, or another $12. I forget. What sign are you? Capricorn. Was it a happy ending massage? I was very happy at the end. I felt so relaxed. Probably not the happy ending you're thinking though. Sorry, I have some allergies. I'll be right back. Just gonna give me 30 seconds. All right, I'm back. Oh, I left that comment up there. Take that off. What's the drinking age in Mexico? It's 18, but I don't think it's usually really enforced. My nose is itching me like crazy tonight. "90 minutes with no breaks." Yep, that's right. Is Tulum really as cool as Instagram people say, or is it hype? I I don't like how so many people make things look on Instagram, and yeah, it's mostly hype. I I mean, so yes, it's beautiful, assuming there's no seaweed there. Sorry, guys, I just keep itching my nose. I'm not picking my nose. So yeah, water's beautiful, and like that's not hype. And there are a lot of cool hotels there, and they do neat things like it's very common for bars to have swings, for example, instead of bar chairs, things like that. Yeah, really cool hotels, but yeah, the Tulum Instagram life, I'd say mostly hype. Charlie asked, "Do you like my wife's banana bread?" Yeah, I do. And we got a super chat here that I have to find. Kev, thanks for the super chat. Would you consider doing an all Alaska episode on how huskies adapt or don't to the climate? We are planning to move with our husky down to PV soon. So I'm not going to do a whole video on that because I just don't think there's broad enough interest. However, I can tell you, like, I got Alaska when I was living in Phoenix, and it is hot there in the summers. And I would have thought she didn't like the heat, but every day, no matter how hot in the middle of the summer, it can be 110 degrees outside. She wants to go lay out in the sun, and I cannot get her to come in until she's ready. Like she'd go lay out in the sun in 110-degree heat every single day for like a half hour or an hour. She loved it. Uh, Granted, at the same time, she also loves when she gets to see snow. But don't change Husky's climate a lot. Like do it once, let them adapt for a long time, then maybe go somewhere else. Uh, if they're like extreme differences, but yeah, they adapt really well. And something I didn't know before having a husky is that their thick coat actually protects them from the heat. So huskies do a lot better in the heat than short-haired dogs do, which is something a lot of people don't realize. Jorge asked, have you ever been or visited San Juan del Rio Querétaro? Uh, no, but I was like planning to go out with a girl who lives there. So that's the reason why I would have gone, but I haven't been. When will you get to Mexico City? Hopefully soon. Last Castile first, and then Mexico City, I think, will be one of my first destinations that I go to. But I have a minimum of 2 more weeks of Alaska healing before I can think about planning a trip. Jerry says, oh my God, Tulum is so overpriced. Tulum, like on the beach side, it's so expensive if you go in the high season. However, if you go in the low season, like a hotel that's $700 a night in the high season, you might be able to get it for $100 a night. So there's some actually pretty good deals there to be found if you go in the low season. And also, something I'm trying to do is get enough Hilton points to book at the Conrad Tulum in the high season. And something cool about that is that you get, if you stay for 5 nights on Hilton points, you get the fifth night for free. So you only have to pay for 4 nights with points. And high season or low season, it doesn't matter. The number of points required never changes. So that's a way that you can stay at a really expensive hotel just by getting a couple of the right credit cards. So that's something I'm working on for an affordable Tulum trip. I think there's some super chats that I need to find here. Tisha asks, or Tisha, sorry if I pronounce your name wrong, are there hipsters in Mexico? Yes, definitely. You will find Mexican hipsters. Maggie Price, thanks for the super chat. Happy to find you. We plan to retire in Mexico. I'm visiting Aguas Calientes in 3 weeks, and it sounds like you suggest it might be a nice place to live. Yeah, I like it there. It's nice. You have nice year-round weather. The people are great. It's affordable. There's a lot of things I like about it. Charlie, thanks for the super chat. Do you wear a Speedo to metal detect at the beach? No, I usually go nude. Thank you for the super chat. Domizi, do you put dog shoes on Alaska when taking her out for a walk in the hot Mexican summer? No. The only time that hot pavement has ever bothered her was when she was a young puppy living in Phoenix and then like you have the really hot summers there and shit, and then she's walking on pavement. You kind of see her like walking weird because clearly she's uncomfortable. But that's before she got calluses or whatever dogs do with their paw pads. You know how when like when you have a new puppy, their paw pads are really smooth. Well, that's how it was when Laska's paws were hurting her walking on that. But then, like later in her life, as they got more roughed up, like more calloused or whatever, it didn't seem to bother her. And I would never like take her for long walks on the pavement. We would usually do mostly grass or like light colored sidewalk that isn't so hot. Justin, thank you for the super chat or super sticker. I appreciate it. Do you watch Narcos or Breaking Bad? I never really got into Narcos. I love Breaking Bad though. All right. Charlie, you just won't quit. What's your best metal detecting find? So this guy, I grew up with this guy, and he met me when I was metal detecting because it's something I loved doing as a kid, and we he makes fun of me for it, but we actually ended up doing it together, and it was a fun hobby. But when I first got a metal detector, I went in my backyard. The first thing I found was a penny, not any old penny or anything like that. The second thing I found, I think it was a nail or some worthless thing like that. And then the third thing I found was a 1901 barber quarter, a silver quarter, and uh, it happened within like 15 minutes of getting a detector, and it was literally the best thing I ever found. I also found some like old slugs, like from Civil War era. What you would be shooting in that kind of gun. So I guess that's pretty cool. JB, thank you for the super chat. Have you done any fishing in Mexico? I'd like to retire to Baja one day and just fish. That's something I've never done. Do you watch Maddie's content? Yeah, so far I have. Kevin says, love the finance related content you've been posting. You're like the Graham Stephan of Mexico. I don't know. He turns out so much content. He's pretty good. But thank you. I appreciate it, and I'm glad you like that kind of stuff. So it just it's just like something I'm interested in. So I kind of like to throw that in there sometimes. Will you study in a public university in Mexico? Probably not. If I ever did, it would probably just be for fun, just like to see what it's like. Jordan, could you talk about at all about the soccer riot stuff that happened in Querétaro? Were you near it? Was there any fallout near you? Was concerned for you when it happened? I wasn't near it. I live on the other side of the city, and literally nothing changed in my everyday life. I noticed nothing different whatsoever. Okay. E-commerce, thanks for the super chat. Do you know what expats pay for private school for kids? To be honest, I don't want to send kids to woke, toxic American schools that are anti-merit. Uh, you know, I've had some conversations about this, but I'm not sure I remember the prices. Private schools, I want to say some. Oh gosh, I don't know if I want to give it. Just okay. I'm going to give you a number, but just know that I could be very wrong, and there will probably be people in the comments who know a lot better than I do. But I want to say like in the range of $300 to $500 per semester, but I could be way off. Like just really fuzzy memories of conversations I've had. Charlie says, catch and cook videos. that's all you watch on YouTube. This guy's been trying to get me to do catch and cook videos forever. Oh no, my computer's about to die. I gotta go grab the charger. I'll be right back. All right, we're plugged in. We're safe. James asks, where in Minnesota are you from? Grew up in Moorhead, right on the border of Fargo and North Dakota. Yes, like the TV show and movie. Right there. Have you given any thoughts about becoming a telenovela actor in Mexico? Not really, but I know someone who does something like that, so I guess it's not totally out of the realm of possibilities. Actually, it probably is out of the realm of possibilities because I don't know. I feel like my Spanish would need to be totally 100% fluent without any like struggles at all, and I'm not there. Moto Susia, thank you for the super chat. Seeing if I got all the super chats. Yes, I did. I think now I'm caught up on comments. All right. Trying to find a question to answer here. This is interesting. It's not a question, but I like this comment. I went fishing in Cabo and we caught 10 yellowfin tunas. That's a lot. That's a lot of tuna. Took them to a restaurant by our resort and fed everyone in the restaurant. It was so awesome. That sounds like a super cool experience. Rodrig, thank you for the super chat. Do you still have the merch store at Tangerine Travels? No, I shut that down a long time ago. It ended up being too much work. And yeah, we decided it wasn't worth it. Sorry. How much do you make from Tangerine Travels a month? Al says, are you with the IRS? That's funny. Are you still in Querétaro? Yes, I am. Are you eating enough vegetables? Probably not. When you head to Vegas? Uh, Hopefully within the next couple of months. There's a bunch of new camera and video filming equipment that I want to buy, and I want to get that on my next trip to the US. So I'd like to go pretty soon, but I'm not sure when that will happen exactly. All right, Lauren, thank you for the super chat. Now that you're single, do you find yourself dating Mexican ladies or gringo expats? Also, what's the drunkest you've ever been? Okay, so those are two very different questions. As for Mexican ladies or foreigners, mostly Mexicans. And what's the drunkest you've ever been? I went to Vegas for my birthday this year, and I had never blacked out in my life. But I did one night on that trip. And that's the drunkest I've ever been. A close second is if you search Tangerine Travels for the video, I think it's titled "This Was a Mistake," and this is doing like a $1 margarita challenge in Puerto Vallarta. That's probably right up there with the drunkest I've ever been. That's the drunkest I've ever been on camera, for sure. I did not like blacking out though. I was like almost proud that I'd never done that in my life, but now can't say that anymore. Do you have to be a Mexican citizen to buy real estate in Mexico? No, you do not. This is a common misconception that a lot of people have because it's in the Mexican Constitution, something like that. Only Mexicans can own property within 50 kilometers of a body of water, or 50 kilometers of the ocean, or 100 kilometers of the border. But so if you're not a Mexican citizen, there's a restricted zone and then there's an unrestricted zone. The vast majority of the country is unrestricted and foreigners can own direct title. So here in Querétaro, I can own direct title because I'm not close to the ocean and I'm not close to a border. However, you are in the restricted zone. You have three options. The first option is to become a naturalized Mexican citizen, in which case you can own property directly, like in your name. The next option is to, like, you would just do this through lawyers here, but you start a Mexican corporation, you have the corporation buy the property, and the corporation holds direct title to the property. And that corporation can be 100% owned by foreigners. And the third way, and the most common way to do it, is to own through a bank trust. So basically the trust owns the property and you control the trust, and that trust can be renewed forever. And so that's the most common way to do it. And the trust also makes estate planning easy as well. So there's that. But regardless of whether you do a corporation or a trust, there will be some annual fees involved with that of maybe like a few $100s a year. Jordan, do you speak Spanish well enough to date a woman that does not speak English? Yes. Yes, I do. But you know, I've known some people and I've met some people over the years in Mexico who know very little Spanish, but they still date Mexican women, and they use Google Translate the entire time. The entire time they're on their phones using Google Translate, and I just find that so fascinating. Like I've never tried anything like that, but So even people who don't speak Spanish still date Mexican women who don't speak English. Charlie, stop airing my dirty laundry. Yes, I know I'm losing. My team was so good this year, too. I was just totally plagued with injuries at the end of the season, like right when it's the most important time. I won the regular season with the best record, and now a bunch of my best players are injured right at the wrong time. And I'm in the playoffs right now of my fantasy hockey league against, and like the first round of the playoffs, I'm facing my sister. Are you a Wild or a Coyotes fan? I am a Coyotes fan. Reverso is way better than Google Translator. I'm not familiar with that. I'll have to check it out. MK asks, would you ever consider making a video showing what it's like to go on a first date with a girl from Mexico? Yes, I would, but the hard part about that video is she would also have to be okay with it. And that's hard to get someone to be okay with that when you haven't met them. So, like, showing a date when it's not your first date and you know them better would be a lot easier to get that mutual consent. Jordan, do you own a car? Nope. I'm car shopping right now, though, but I need to save up some more money. Sean asked, what did you major in at ASU? I feel like a lot of these are just like, I don't know, you put a lot of these answers together, probably be able to hack my life and get all my passwords. But supply chain management, it was part of the business school. Brad, thank you for the super sticker. I appreciate that. John asked, do you have a bike? No, but I'd consider getting one. All right, what other questions do we have here? Question, how's Alaska around other Mexican Lascoitinos? Yeah, she's great. She loves going to the dog park. We haven't been able to go in a while because of her injury, but yeah, she loves it. Jordan, what's the idea of a perfect date? You know, today, April 16th, tax day's over, not too hot, not too cold. April 16th is a good date. No, I'm just being a dick. No, I don't know how to answer that. I like going out for drinks. I like going out for a nice meal. I hate going to the movies. I think no, not necessarily for. I don't hate a movie date for like when I already know the girl well. But as a first date, I think a movie date is the worst idea. You just sit there awkwardly, not being able to talk the whole time. It's like But anything but a movie. That's my answer. Wow, he's still streaming. He is 2 hours into it. You know, when I started this stream, I had no idea what I was going to talk about. I just I've never used this software before. I didn't know if I was going to even be able to figure it out, but I'm using StreamYard, and it's pretty easy. Oh, as you can probably see, powered by StreamYard. All right, what other comments did I miss? Does it feel weird living alone now? Jaime asks. Uh, no, no, I'm fine with my alone time, and I go out enough that it's it's not weird. I have way too big of a house to be living alone though. Like this is just way too much house for me. I like it though, so I don't want to move. I love I love coming home. Did you see that people are making videos about your income? Yeah, there's so many of them popping up. How much does Tangerine Travels make? It amuses me because they have no idea. It's just total guess. Moto Susia, thanks for the super chat. Hey Jordan, do you ever cross down into Guatemala? Have you spent much time in Chiapas down by Comitan? So I've never crossed into Guatemala, and I've only spent like 2 weeks in Chiapas, and I was in San Cristobal de las Casas. Nice city, nice little town. I like it. Whoa, a $50 super chat. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Wow. No comment or anything. And that's the biggest super chat of the day by far. Pepperoni Pete, thank you for the super chat. Would you ever consider moving back to the US? No. I mean, so I love lake country in Minnesota, so I would consider at some point in the future, like maybe spending summers in Minnesota, but that would be about the extent of it. Like let's say in a perfect world, I was making enough money where I could rent a nice lake place in Minnesota or buy one for a few months of the year, then yeah, maybe. All right, trying to catch up on comments here, and I'm caught up. All right. Brian asked, Jordan, did you get your thriftiness and saving and planning from mom or dad? So, uh, I can't say that I'm super thrifty. Uh, like, I, I mean, I like finding deals and figuring out how to like get trips really cheap. So I'm thrifty in that sense, but I'm not thrifty in that I won't spend money. Um, but saving, yeah, like both of my parents were like push saving really hard. And as for planning, I'm the world's worst planner. So I don't think I got that from anyone. Like you should see me trying to plan a trip. It's pathetic. I'm awful at it. So I'll just like, I'll book some trip the day before and just wing it. Lauren asks, have you ever seen a ghost or an alien? Tell us. So I don't know what this was, but I'll tell you one story. So I was going to college in Arizona, and I was the semester was done, or the actually the school year was done, and I was driving back to Minnesota for the summer. And I was trying to make this drive in 2 days. And the day before I'm supposed to leave to start the like 30-hour drive or whatever it is it that long? Or is it like, no, I think I'm remembering that wrong. Maybe it's like 24 hours. I forget. You can look it up. But anyway, the day before, someone backs into my car at a gas station. So I'm like, oh, great. Now my bumper's hanging off right before I have to make a drive across an entire country. So then basically the, or did that happen the day of? No, that happened the day I was supposed to leave. Yeah, that morning, someone backed into my car. So then much of the day was spent dealing with insurance when I'm supposed to hit the road early. And basically, that I'm starting the story here because that caused me to get a late start on the day. So I wanted to cover a lot of miles, as many miles as I could. So I'm I'm driving. I've been driving quite a while. Quite a while. The whole time I've been driving, one of my friends at ASU is also driving back to LA at the same time, and we're talking on the phone the whole time, and basically just to keep each other awake. And this is one of my friends who, one of those guys who can just talk forever. Like he never runs out of something to talk about. So he's the perfect person if you ever want to stay on a phone call for hours and hours and hours. So eventually the call drops. I lose service. I'm in the middle of nowhere in New Mexico, and I lose the phone call. The call drops, which actually might have been a good thing because the whole time I was only having one hand on the wheel, but after the call drop, I had two hands on the wheel. Well, I'm in the middle of nowhere in New Mexico in the middle of the night. I haven't seen a car driving either direction for like a half hour. So I'm doing 80 probably. And so that means there's no one within many miles of me. And I'm driving in the left of two lanes because it's a smoother ride in the left lane and there's no one else on the road. And then all of a sudden, I'm getting chills as I'm thinking about this. All of a sudden, right in front of me, there's this huge animal in the middle of the road. And like this thing is within feet of me, and I'm doing 80 down the interstate. I yank the wheel to the right to try to avoid it. My car goes up on its right two wheels, and then I I pass this animal. So I'm going into the right lane now, and I pass this giant animal, and it like shows me its teeth as it passes my mirror just inches away. And my very first thought, and like it's giving me the most evil look. And my very first thought was, that's the size of a bear, but that wasn't a bear. And so my car goes up on the right two wheels. I'm seeing this all happen in slow motion. And then I like overcorrect and my car goes on the left two wheels. And then finally, thankfully, I didn't flip it and my car settles down on the interstate. I didn't go off the road. I stayed on the road the whole time. And my car's flat. I look in my mirror to see whatever the hell I just saw, and it's nowhere to be seen. And I go to like hit the gas and my car won't move. I'm like, oh, great. But as it turns out, my car just slipped into neutral. And so I was able to continue the drive after that. But to this day, I have no idea what the hell that was. I did hours and hours of research. My two best guesses are the world's biggest javelina, like a giant wild pig, but it would have to be like a world record size, like the size of a bear, or a demon. Like, those are my two guesses. But I don't know, it was a blessing in disguise that that call that I'd been on for hours dropped just minutes before, and I had two hands on the wheel. But yeah, that's one of the closest times I've ever been to death in my life. Christian, thanks for the super chat. It sounds like you don't have confidence in the direction the USA is heading. No, I don't, unfortunately. JB Outdoors, thanks for the super chat. Sad that Maddie left, but enjoy the new style of videos with you. Glad I caught the stream. Hope you do more of these. Keep killing it, brother. Thank you very much. And hey, maybe I'll try to do more of these if I can still come up with things to say. I wish I had better lighting in my house. That's one thing I don't like about this place. Lighting kind of sucks. So it's brainy for you. I'll have to do it during the day. Taffy Love, thank you for the super chat. Where would you recommend living for someone with a lot of allergies and prefer cooler weather? I'd like to get a dog. Will it be easy to get one? Thank you. Okay, so lots of allergies. I'm assuming you mean environmental, or do you mean food allergies? If you mean food allergies, well then a big city is going to be your best option probably, because big city means lots of restaurants, lots of things that will cater to like gluten-free and other food allergies like that. If you mean environmental, I don't know if I have a good answer for you. Yeah, if you mean environmental, I don't know the answer to that. But you prefer cooler weather, so you're gonna like central Mexico. Like, the vast majority of Mexico is over 3,000 feet of elevation. Basically, it's only the coastlines that are under 3,000 feet of elevation. So once you get into like away from the coastlines, you have cooler weather. If you like really cool weather, just in today's video, I mentioned Orizaba. That has pretty cool weather. I love, if you like small towns, I love the small town of Tapalpa in the state of Jalisco, where you have Guadalajara and Puerto Vallarta. That's an awesome little small town. So there you're away from any smog of the big city. That's not going to be any concern. If that's like a concern for allergies, you're going to have cool weather because you're up at like 8,000 feet of elevation. So there's lots of like towns like that up at high elevations though. Okay, what else we got here? Sean says, I'm also from Minnesota. I went to ASU. Oh, a lot of like there. Business school ASU from Minnesota. Big fan. My favorite video of yours was when you went to that Sun Devil bar. Yeah, so that was in I've made 4 Puerto Vallarta videos recently, like within the past several months, and that was in the first of those 4 videos. But yeah, that was a fun video. That was cool. I was surprised to see that there in Puerto Vallarta. Steve, thanks for the super chat. When can we expect your dating in Mexico video? You are killing it. Love the channel. So here's my dilemma. So if for me to do the video the way I want to do the video, I cannot do it with the current equipment that I have. And I don't want to buy the equipment online because it's going to cost me like an extra $500 just to pay the import fees and the shipping here. So I want to get the equipment that I want on my next trip to the US. So it would have to be after my US trip if I make the video the way I want. However, I can do it without new equipment. It's just not going to be as good. So I don't know. If I decide to do it without the new equipment, it could happen in the next couple of weeks. If I wait until I get the equipment that I want, it's going to be a minimum of a month, probably 2 months. James asks, what do you think about the Supreme Court in Mexico legalizing marijuana? Do you partake? So, if for those unfamiliar with the situation, like it's been to like my mediocre understanding of the situation is it was illegal in Mexico for a while, but there's some law in Mexico or it's in the Constitution or something that if a court rules against a law 3 times, I'm not sure if it has to be the Supreme Court or if it can be other courts as well. But if there's 3 rulings against a certain law, then Congress must change that law. And there were 3 rulings against marijuana being illegal. So Congress they were required to change the law to make it legal. And then ensued like a couple of years of Congress trying to figure out what to do to make it legal. And they had a deadline, but that deadline, I think, has been extended multiple times. And now I honestly don't know what the current status is on that in Mexico. But according to your comment, James, like it's legal now. Maybe I've heard something about that it's legal to grow your own, but not legal to distribute unless you have licenses or something. I honestly forget, but like there's something in here that I'm remembering. As for do I partake, I've tried it a couple times and excuse me, I'm just in general very, very relaxed. Like that's just my personality. I'm really relaxed. And I smoked in Amsterdam when I went there, and after smoking, I felt exactly the same. I just felt really relaxed. So it's not something I really do, but I have nothing against it. All right, looking for another question here. Chris asks, can you buy health insurance as a foreigner in Mexico? Yes, you can. So you can buy health insurance that covers you in Mexico. You can get on the government insurance in Mexico. That's pretty cheap, but not very good. And then there's also other options like you can buy medical evacuation insurance. So if you're ever in a situation where you need to be medevaced out of the country, well, then your insurance covers that. There's insurance that covers you just in Mexico. There's insurance that covers you in Mexico and worldwide. So there's various options, but I'm by no means an expert in it. Thank you for the super chat. Really appreciate that. And Dennis says, please give La Chispa San Miguel a shout out. Oh, hey, it's you. Good to see you here. So, guys, if you haven't seen that video, go check it out. I forget what it's called, but I'm going to find it on the YouTube channel here quickly. And I'm going to post it in the chat. Just give me one moment. Okay, where is it? Where is it? Oh, come on. Now I'm having trouble finding it. Oh, here it is. Okay. So this video I'm posting right here. We went, Dennis invited us to go stay at his incredible bed and breakfast just outside of San Miguel de Allende, and I highly recommend it. It's one of the best places I've ever stayed in my life. It was totally incredible. So go check that out. Mara asks, are you a temporary legal resident? Yes, I am. Hopefully turning that to permanent or citizen before long. No name, thank you for the super chat. What do you think about Canada? And what's your opinion about the Canadian government and Prime Minister Trudeau against rights and freedoms? So I don't want to talk about the politics side of that question, but what do I think about Canada? It's a beautiful country, and the people there are awesome. I love Canadian people. I'll give you one example, like just one example of one of the reasons why I love Canadians. So when I was younger, going up to a fishing trip in northern Manitoba, like people would, like if you broke down and there wasn't a town for 100 kilometers, like someone would drive 100 kilometers out of their way to help you, or like the next person driving by on the road would stop for you, help you like with your breakdown. And if they needed, they would drive 100 kilometers out of the way and bring you back. Like they're just so nice to everyone. All right, looking for some more questions here. Zigglefinger says, "Where's the banhammer?" You know, to be honest, I'm not seeing probably 99% of the comments. Like I get through the super chats and then I go try to find another question. So I don't have any moderators, and I like don't have time to monitor all the comments. Brian asked, "Do you have a girlfriend?" No, I do not. Dating, but no girlfriend. Barbara asked, best site for learning Spanish. So there's some apps I really like that you can get for free, or the paid version if you want it. One is Duolingo, that's good. Memrise is good. Those are both good for building your Spanish vocabulary, but I don't really feel like those are going to get you speaking full sentences in Spanish. I also like some YouTube channels. For example, Butterfly Spanish is really great for learning a lot of grammar and various Mexican Spanish. And if you watch my videos, you know that I recommend Rocket Languages. It's not free, but it's a really great course and it's an awesome value. And by the way, they're doing their Easter sale this weekend, so now is as good of time as ever to get it. So if you want to go check that out, you can go to tangerinespanish.com, and that will take you right to my affiliate link. But yeah, there's free options, there's paid options. I think a mix of those things are good. Like at tangerinespanish.com, well, that's going to get you speaking out loud and get you speaking in full sentences pretty quickly. And then something like an app like Memrise is going to really help you build your vocabulary faster, in addition to doing like those audio lessons, for example, on Rocket Languages. All right, what other questions do we have here? Cool Dude Craig says, "Do you miss Minnesota?" I mean, certainly not the winters, but I miss the people there and lake country. I love going to the lakes in Minnesota. It's a good time. Okay, just trying to find the newest comments here and finding some questions. Hey, I'm seeing some bad comments about Maddie. If you guys could just like not talk bad about her in the chat, I'd appreciate that. I'm trying to find some questions here. Peter asked, "Why'd you leave Minnesota for Arizona?" Uh, so a lot of people I grew up with in Minnesota, like it was very common for like the people I went to high school with to never leave. Very few people ever left. Like, and if they did, it would be like going to Minneapolis or something. Like most people who left didn't go very far away. Like I graduated with about 450 kids in my class, and I think I was maybe one of five who left the state after high school. So it was, but I knew I wanted to get out. I wanted to explore more. And one day I got a postcard in the mail from Arizona State. And I'm like, on that postcard, they had palm trees. And I was like, they have palm trees? I'm going. That was the extent of my college decision making process. I applied to one school and one school only, mostly to get away from the bad weather. I hate Minnesota winters. So, yeah, I don't like being cold, and I would rather be hot than cold. So, that's what brought me to Arizona, and I loved it. Sean says, "Go Devils." Brian says, "Forks up, baby." Yep. Go Sun Devils. Moto Susia says, "Hey Jordan, have you been to Playa Zipolite, the only nude beach in Mexico? Got stuck there from COVID and it was lovely." No, I haven't. So if I remember right, that's in the state of Oaxaca. And I've only been to Oaxaca, the city. I haven't been to the Oaxacan coast yet. Sergio Garcia, like the golfer, says, "Are you going to talk more about investing?" Um, like I'll probably make videos on that occasionally. I don't want that to be like a core topic of the channel, but like when it makes sense to fit it in with some video that is like about the core of the channel. When I'm talking like the core of the channel, I mean like uh, Las Vegas, Mexico content, living in Mexico, life in Mexico as a foreigner, tips for traveling, things like that. Whenever I can like fit it into one of those concepts, then yeah, I'll talk more about it. Yvonne asks, are you enjoying your new gay lifestyle? Um, okay. I meant to click on a comment and then it switched on me here. What was it like living in Puerto Morelos? It was nice. The people were good. People were nice. I I like that it's a pretty chill vibe there, but you have Cancun and Playa del Carmen pretty close. Like if you want more of a party scene, or if like you want bigger stores and things like that to do some shopping. Pretty darn hot for part of the year. Um, really bad mosquitoes for part of the year. So you have to deal with the heat and the humidity and the mosquitoes, but if you can deal with those, it's nice. And the water there is beautiful, and you have the barrier reef right offshore, so there's great snorkeling and things like that. Christian asks, "Have you ever been to Zacatecas?" Just I've only stayed in Zacatecas for one night, and it was on a trip coming back from Texas, I think. And by the way, I love Zacatecas. I want to spend more time there, but beautiful city, beautiful, like really, yeah. I totally forgot about it, to be honest. Yeah, that's one place I want to go back to for sure. Xavier asks, "How much do you pay for protection?" Uh, Condoms are about 50 cents a piece, I think. Is that what you were asking? Jorge asks, "Tacos or sopes?" The world wants to know. Okay. I've got to give the win to tacos, but I do like my sopes. There's a super chat here that I need to find. Dave and Rose Travels says, "What was the best way to get subscribers when you started your YouTube channel? We need subscribers." So first of all, go check out their channel. I'm not familiar with it, but one way to do it is by leaving super chats like this. And uh, I do have some other tips for you. I'll tell you straight up, there is no substitute for just trying to improve your videos and making better and better videos as time goes on. If you make good videos, people are going to find you. And like, become a fan of your analytics on YouTube's back end. Like, study those like crazy and learn what YouTube likes, like your retention graphs and things like that. So start with like just trying to improve your content as much as you can. But some other things like you can do is find channels that are similar to yours and like follow those channels, hit the bell so you get notified as soon as they upload a new video. Watch every single one of their videos as soon as they're uploaded, and then leave a thoughtful comment. And don't leave spammy stuff like "subscribe to my channel." Like, leave a good comment about the video or about your experience. Just don't make it anything spammy. And like with a name like yours, Dave and Rose Travels, people will see that your channel is about travels. And when you like leave good comments, sometimes those comments will get upvoted to the top and they'll get a lot of upvotes and you'll get some subscribers that way. So that's one tip when you're just like totally new to it. when nobody knows who you are, to get some subscribers. But just make sure you're not doing anything spammy. And like if you do like sub for sub stuff, that can get your whole channel kicked off of YouTube. All right, there's another super chat here. Sergio, thanks for the feedback. Only smart people call me the golfer. Yeah, so, sorry. I mean, you probably get that a lot. It's just the first thing I thought of, and with the tiny picture there, um, I thought you might have been the golfer. Lauren asks, "What's your most memorable Christmas gift as a kid?" I have a terrible memory when it comes to this stuff. I do not have very many memories from my childhood. I literally have no idea. I don't think I can remember a single gift that I ever got. Yeah. Sorry, I don't have an answer for you. Thank you, Lake Tahoe Gem, for the super sticker. I appreciate that. Brendan with the super chat. You said you don't like the direction the US is headed. Is that because of the Federal Reserve COVID money printing? I saw your inflation video. Do you think Mexican stocks are better? So, yeah, I mean, a lot of it has to do with the money printing. I wasn't just not happy about it recently, though. I was not happy about it back when they started doing QE1 and whatever it was, 2009 or something. Do you think Mexico stocks are better? To be honest, I don't know a lot of Mexico stocks, but there is one that I would happily buy today. And I have some companies that do some business in Mexico. For example, I own Fortuna Silver Mines, and they have a mine in Oaxaca. And I would, and there's another one I own, Pan American Silver. They have some mines in Mexico. I would also buy a Mexican, but those aren't Mexican companies. Those are Canadian companies doing business in Mexico. But one Mexican company I would buy is Industrias Peñoles. I would happily buy that at the current valuation. Fando, thank you for the super sticker. I appreciate that. And on the note of stocks, though, like, please, like, do your own research, because even though I would happily buy that at the current valuation, like, if you don't know the company well and the price of the stock goes down, you might sell out of fear. And the opposite happens if the price of the stock goes way up and there wasn't justification for going way up, or for going way up, you may want to, or like you might not know whether to sell or not. So like you really have to know the companies and be following along with what's going on with them. Otherwise, like, sell out of fear and you sell at a bad price, or like it goes up and maybe you buy more because just because it's going up, which a lot of people do, and then you're buying at a worse price. So there's some bad stuff that can happen if you don't know the companies well. Mikasa Merida says, "How do you feel about Merida, and will you spend more time there?" I love Merida. It's a cool city. There's a video on the channel that's like 12 reasons Merida is awesome, and that kind of sums up what I love about the city. And I'll definitely visit more. It's not a place I would live year round, just because I couldn't handle the summers there. But yeah, it's a lovely city.
Sergio says, no, I use that as a sales opener, but no one really knows the golfer, Sergio Garcia. Really like this channel. Keep up the great work, boss. From Texas, Fort Worth. Okay, sorry. I don't know whether to call you Sergio or Sergio, so I hope it's not a big deal either way. But thank you very much. I appreciate you watching, and thank you for the super chat. Washer Dryer Money says, do you still sell monthly covered calls and puts? So I've never sold puts. I've bought some puts, but I do cover calls a lot more than puts. And I don't do it monthly, but I'll do it when I feel like a certain stock is getting overvalued. And then, so instead of selling the stock, I'll sell covered calls on it. So then I pocket some money immediately, but then I still own the shares. And like, I don't know, I think that's often a good way to go about it if I think a stock is overvalued. And like, I should also say that I do it sometimes even if I don't think it's overvalued. But I don't have covered calls on all of my securities. I'll maybe have them on a couple of the things I own. Okay. Trying to find a question to answer. Selling puts can cause an unlimited loss. So yeah, like selling puts are much more risky than buying puts. If you're gonna, and then, so like if you're going to sell puts, you have to really, really know what you're doing, and I definitely don't recommend it unless you're a total professional. And even buying puts for that matter, like you with buying puts, you can only lose as much as the purchase price to buy the put, but still it's a pretty darn risky play more often than not. Scotty Flintstone says, can you describe or tell us about instances of kidnapping? No, I can't. But there was one time Maddie and I were in Tulum. We were driving and we were being followed, and like they were following our every turn. We ended up, like, it could have just been a fan who recognized us, or it could have been someone with bad intentions. Now, I don't know if those intentions were kidnapping or something else, but yeah, we ended up like doing some turns to evade them and ended up getting away, but never found out what that was about. But no, I can't speak to kidnapping at all. When buying stocks, you still own the stock if it goes down. When buying derivatives, you own nothing if it goes south. Exactly. So, like, just buying the stocks is so much safer because as long as you know the value of the company, well, then like you can buy it and hold it for a long time. Whereas if you're like, let's say you think a stock is going to go up and you buy calls, well, then there's a clock that's ticking against you every single day. And every single day that that stock doesn't go up, the value of your calls are going down. So, I mean, but like when you buy the stock, you own a portion of that company forever. So you can hold it through the bad times. Oh, this is a popular question. Do you need to be a Mexican citizen to purchase real estate? No, you don't. And I actually answered this question in a video that I'm going to post in the chat. I just have to find it quickly. The title of the video is Mexico Real Estate Myth Busting. So here, I'm going to post that video link in the chat. It's a video that hasn't been watched much, but I think there's some good information in that. Okay. Do you have moderators? Designated people as moderators like a couple of years ago, but I don't know if there's any that are currently moderators in the chat right now. Scotty Flintstone, I would really like to see more reviews of real estate in Mexico. Yeah, I'm going to do more for sure. Like, they're very popular videos. But thank you for the feedback, and I appreciate the super chat. Kokomo, how can I trick my boyfriend into marrying me? Pretend you're pregnant. No, don't do that. Got some responses to that. How do you meet women? Online dating or? Yeah, I mean, so using Tinder, like that's great. And I have Tinder Platinum. It's like $50 a year, which is so worth it. Like it's incredible here. And also just, I mean, out and about, like my dentist, my waitress, my physiotherapist, like people just walking around, things like that. But yeah, there's a lot of working age women around my age, or there's a lot of women around my age who are like professionals in their career, like dentists, doctors, physiotherapists, that kind of thing. So that's how I meet some of them. Use Facebook dating. That is something I have not tried. Edward asks, how's the dating scene in Mexico? I mean, for me, it's awesome. Why would you want to trick someone into marrying you? I don't know. Maybe she's trying to marry you into money. I don't know. So what comes with Tinder Platinum? So I think I'm grandfathered in to the new version. I think they made some changes a while back. But anyway, what comes with it, with the version I have, is I can see everyone who has already liked me. Whenever I like someone, I'm given priority when they turn on their app and start swiping. People with Tinder Platinum are given priority and are some of the first people that she will see. What else? You get one free boost a month. I get 5 super likes every day. And I think there's some other, oh, ad free. I really like that because the ads were, or is it ad free? Yeah, it's ad free. The ads on there were annoying. Unlimited swipes, lots of stuff. Moto Susia, thanks for the super chat. What's your favorite curse word or derogatory name when cut off in traffic? Have you ever called someone a Muppet? That's my favorite. Curious in New Jersey. I can't say I've ever called someone a Muppet. Uh, what's my go-to curse word? Well, I'm thinking like Spanish curse words, or at least like Mexican slang. Uh, Probably like que pedo or pendejo, or I don't know, something like that. Scotty Flintstone, can you describe the education system for children in Mexico? I heard tons of kids don't even go to school. Honestly, no, I can't answer your question. I'm sorry. I don't know anything about the education system. I wish I did. Okay. I'm looking for some more questions. Oscar asked, do you have a good vet recommendation in Guadalajara? No, I never had to take Laska to the vet there. Where's Laska? Kelly asks. I think she's upstairs. She's probably sleeping. Oh my gosh, it's 11 p.m. I should probably end this soon. Scotty Flintstone, what would you like to be doing 5 years from now? Uh, I'd like to be running an investment newsletter. Like that's how I see my retirement, because that's what I do for fun anyway. Like I research companies and markets and read that stuff like crazy all day long whenever I have any free time. So, yeah, an investment newsletter. That's what I want to do. Okay, so I think this is in regard to how do I trick my boyfriend into marrying me? Would pretending to be preggers really help? I don't know. That was a joke. What about behind business? Is that where the stream is going? I mean, yeah, I mean, you could use various methods and coaxing, and let's just call them incentives. Thank you, Ruby. What's the thing behind your head? Good question. So it's like a fake chimney. Yeah, I don't have a fireplace in here, but it's like a stone, and so basically my house is part stone, part cement. So yeah, there's a lot of stone there. Okay, looking for more questions to answer, but I think I am running out. Um, and it's already past 11. So unless there's some new stuff, I think I'm going to call it a night. Would you ever go to Ireland? Sure, why not? I don't really know much about it, but like a couple years ago, there was this golf course and golf school in Ireland that was inviting me to like come there for lessons, and I mean it looked incredible, and I wanted to do that so badly. I just couldn't make it out there at that time. Thank you, GN, for the super chat. Always love the vids. Excited for the next phase of Tangerine Travels. Good luck, brother. Thank you. I appreciate that. And I'm excited to see what comes out of Tangerine Travels too. Working hard on putting out nothing but good videos. Toon Mistress asks, does your rent include CFE? No, it doesn't. Normally, my CFE bills here, my electric bills are not bad at all. But I just got my bill this month, and I have two separate bills, one for downstairs and one for upstairs. And they did it this way to basically to keep this home out of the higher tiers. And my bill for downstairs for 2 months is usually about 400 pesos. And I got the bill this month. It was 8,000 pesos. 8,000. And like I hardly used any electricity at all. So there's something wrong. So I have this $400 electric bill for downstairs when I've used almost zero electricity. So that's super frustrating. I had to go to CFE the other day, like to, well, first I checked the meter to see if the reading was wrong, and it wasn't. So um, they read the meter correctly. I had to go to CFE, and they're like, okay, get your house checked out by an electrician and pay the bill. And after the electrician checks out your house and makes sure something isn't using a ton of power, come back to us, and then we'll send someone out to go check on the meter. And if we find that something's wrong with the meter, like then we'll credit your bill each month until that 8,000 pesos is fully credited to your account. But that was a shocker. And and I've gone out there since getting the bill, and the meter has always been spinning slowly like it should be when I'm not using much electricity. I don't know what happened. I don't know if someone tapped into my electricity and stole electricity from me. I don't know if there's something wrong with the meter. Michael asks, when's the new logo drop? I bought some new logos on Fiverr from a vendor there. I hated them all. Maybe I'll post them on Facebook one of these days. They're awful. So I don't know when I'm going to change the logo. So my gas company is called NG, ENGIE. Um, and I pay the bill at either OXXO or a BBVA kiosk, like I showed in a recent video. And I don't have I don't have to order gas. I don't have it delivered to my house. It's like in the neighborhood I live in, it's just automatically delivered. But each house is still billed individually. Okay, looking for more question. My bill was 8,000 pesos. CFE is Comisión Federal de Electricidad or something like that, and it's the state-owned electric company where everyone gets their electric bill from. Alejandro, thanks for the super chat. Real quick, just out of curiosity, are you a Marvel fan? Do you enjoy watching all their content? How do you feel about the upcoming Doctor Strange movie? So first of all, I don't know anything about the upcoming Doctor Strange movie, but I have really enjoyed the recent Marvel movies that I've seen over the past few years. Jimmy says your Las Vegas videos are awesome. Keep them coming. Yes, I plan to. Thank you very much. Jorge, it's getting late, but I didn't want to leave without thanking for this live and wishing you all the best and keeping on with this amazing job, hermano. Thank you, Jorge. I appreciate that. How much did you pay on Fiverr? I probably, so this guy had a $5 option for one logo. I should have taken that. Instead, I paid $15 to get 4 crappy logos. Yeah. Philo, thank you for the super chat. These people need to stop telling you your life decisions are wrong. You made the right choice. Make your life how you want it. Thank you. Honestly, I'm not even seeing most of the comments. But yeah. Story rappers. Hi, we were inspired by the channel and hope to move to Puerto Vallarta. Awesome. Yeah, go. If you haven't, go check it out first, and make sure you like it at least on vacation or staying there for a little while. But it's an awesome place. All right. Now, after I said that, I'm going to call it a night. I'm getting all sorts of questions. E-commerce, thanks for the super chat. What's your favorite $1,000,000 extreme Sam Hyde skit stone toss meme? I literally have no idea. I don't know what that is. I mean, I'm familiar with like $1,000,000 Extreme Makeover, like the TV show where they do like houses, I think, like flipping houses or something. Is that the right show? But Sam Hyde skit stone toss meme, I have no idea what that means. Sorry. But thank you for the super chat. Okay. All right. One last question for the night. Umberto, any plans on visiting Nuevo León? It's a place I need to go. I don't know when I'm going to get there though. Thank you everyone for checking out the live, hopping on tonight. It's been pretty cool to see so many of you on here for over 3 hours. So thanks a lot. I really appreciate it. Hope you guys all have a great night. By the way, if you haven't yet, I posted a new video today, so you can go check that out. And anyway, I'll see you on here next time. Hopefully it won't be too long. Good night.